You ever wonder why you feel empty? Not sad, not broken, just numb. Like your emotions have been filtered through 1,000 screens before they reach you. You scroll, you consume, you react, but deep down, you can't shake the sense that you're slowly dissolving into the digital ether. And maybe you are. Because the truth is, we are the first generation to live more in the digital world than in the physical one. And yet no one really prepared us for the psychological cost of that. We are becoming a new kind of human. One whose sense of self is fragmented across pixels and platforms. Whose mind never rests because the feed never ends. We are, in many ways, the children of an invisible experiment. And the experiment is working. 1. The birth of the digital self. Once upon a time, your identity was shaped by the people you actually knew. Your family, your town, your tribe. Now it's shaped by algorithms. Every time you post, like, or share, you're feeding a digital mirror that learns exactly who you are, or at least who you appear to be. But here's the haunting part. That mirror doesn't reflect your true self. It reflects your performative self, the version of you optimized for approval. Philosopher Byung-Chul Han called this the society of transparency, a world where everything is visible, measurable, and performable. But what he didn't say, what we're starting to realize, is that transparency kills intimacy. Because when everything is shared, nothing feels sacred anymore. We live under the constant gaze of everyone and no one. Our lives are both hyper-visible and deeply unseen. And that's the paradox of modern existence. You can have thousands of followers and still feel profoundly alone. 2. The loneliness algorithm. Think about it. Social media was never designed to connect you. It was designed to keep you scrolling. It studies your desires, your fears, your insecurities. It rewards you for being predictable, for conforming, for performing. The system doesn't care about your happiness. It cares about your engagement. And so it amplifies what keeps you addicted: outrage, envy, comparison. The more divided you feel inside, the more time you spend online trying to fill that void. It's a perfect psychological trap, one that feeds on your loneliness and disguises itself as belonging. French philosopher Jean Baudrillard once said, "We live in a world where the real is replaced by the simulation of the real." That's what's happening now. We no longer experience the world. We experience its digital shadow. We don't live life, we curate it. And slowly, the curation becomes more real than the living. 3. The AI within. Now, let's talk about the newest player in this game, AI. It's not just changing the world, it's changing what it means to be human. AI is learning faster than we ever imagined, but the real transformation isn't in machines, it's in us. We're starting to think like algorithms. We optimize our productivity, our content, our personalities. We calculate what version of ourselves will perform best. The philosopher Nick Bostrom warned that once machines surpass our intelligence, we'll have to confront a terrifying question. What purpose do humans serve when we are no longer the most intelligent beings on the planet? But maybe that moment has already arrived, not because AI has replaced us, but because we've voluntarily begun to imitate it. We've become data-driven versions of ourselves, trading authenticity for efficiency, emotion for optimization. And in doing so, we risk becoming strangers
to our own humanity.
4. The quiet crisis of meaning. The world today feels more connected than ever, and yet more meaningless than ever. Because connection without depth breeds emptiness. We talk about mental health, self-care, mindfulness, but few of us stop long enough to feel the silence underneath it all. The silence that asks, what is the point of all this? Our ancestors faced famine, war, and survival. We face something far more abstract, the existential crisis of abundance. We have everything we could ever want, and yet we feel like nothing matters. And maybe that's because the systems we built to make life easier have made life feel weightless. We no longer create for meaning, we create for metrics. We no longer connect for love, we connect for visibility. This is what philosopher Albert Camus might call the absurd condition of the modern world. To have infinite access to knowledge and yet still not know who we are. 5. The illusion of progress. Every new innovation promises to make us freer, smarter, happier. But freedom without grounding isn't freedom, it's chaos. We told ourselves that technology would save us. Instead, it magnified our confusion. It gave us speed without direction and information without wisdom. In our pursuit of progress, we forgot to ask the most human question of all. Progress toward what? We are racing forward without knowing where we're going. And maybe deep down, that's what our anxiety really is. The soul's reaction to being dragged into a future it doesn't understand.
6. The mirror of the machine. Here's a difficult truth. AI didn't invent our problems. It just exposed them. The machine is a mirror. It reflects our values, our biases, our addictions. If we train it on greed, it will optimize greed. If we train it on empathy, it will learn compassion. In other words, the future of technology is not about what AI becomes. It's about what we become in response to it. Philosopher Donna Haraway once suggested that humans and machines are no longer separate. We're co-evolving, merging. And perhaps that's not entirely a bad thing. Because if we can infuse technology with human wisdom rather than human ego, it might not destroy us. It might actually save us. But that requires something we've almost forgotten how to do. To be conscious. 7. Conscious evolution. Consciousness used to be a philosophical mystery. Now it's a survival strategy. In a world of infinite distractions, your ability to stay aware of yourself, of your thoughts, of your choices, has become a revolutionary act. Because awareness interrupts the algorithm. It reminds you that you are not your feed, not your metrics, not your performance. You are a being capable of meaning, even in a meaningless system. Maybe the next stage of evolution isn't biological or technological. It's psychological. It's the awakening of a generation that realizes the machine can't save us. The algorithm can't fulfill us. Only consciousness can.
8. The new philosophy. We need a new philosophy for the modern age, one that integrates the digital with the human, the rational with the emotional, the technological with the spiritual.
A philosophy that says progress is not how fast we go, but how deeply we understand. That sustainability isn't just about the planet, it's about the psyche. That justice isn't only about laws, it's about empathy. We need to stop worshiping innovation and start cultivating wisdom. Because wisdom is the only technology that doesn't become obsolete. 9. The return to being. Maybe that's what life has been trying to tell us through all this chaos, that we've lost touch with what it means to simply be. We have built worlds of data, but we've forgotten the poetry of existence. We have created artificial minds, but neglected the soul. And perhaps the purpose of this moment in history is not to conquer the machine, but to rediscover the human. Because when you strip away the noise, the notifications, the algorithms, what's left is the one thing no technology can replicate: presence. To be here, to feel, to exist. That's the miracle we've been searching for all along. 10. The final thought. So maybe the real danger isn't that AI will replace us. Maybe it's that we'll forget what we were ever meant to be. But if you can still feel something when you look up from your screen, if you can still sense the fragile beauty of being alive, then it's not too late. Because consciousness, real human consciousness, is the one thing the machine will never own. And maybe that's our final frontier. The question is not whether the machine will become human. The question is whether we still can.